Welcome everyone. I hope you're all still awake tonight. I am ready for another edition of the Superstars podcast. I've got with us the one of the smoothest looking brothers in the business here. I'll tell you, man, you got to give me some style tips. I'm trying, but Garnett Briscoe out of KW Cherry Hill. What's going on, brother?
Man, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate the compliments. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. You're always looking smooth. Now, I'm going to start off for you, those of you that aren't avid fans of the show, which I know is be surprised, our 1.5 million worldwide viewers tonight watching this thing. I got to know. So tell me about your style, man. That's like when I see you, that's the first thing I think of. You smell good, you look good, you have that whole thing about you. So where does that come from? Is that your whole life? Like, what's your give me that vibe, give me that rundown, man.
Yeah, man. I wish I had answers. I wake up like this every day, Chad. That's all I can say. This is it. Now, honestly,
Yeah.
like getting dressed. So like I've only been an agent for like 2.5 years now. So like getting dressed is like really new to me. Even still. So yeah, I mean, I've been, followed suit pages and all that stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and like, took some things from that, and then like kind of just, applied what I like to it, and yeah, I guess it's working.
So wait, so prior to becoming an agent, what did you look like?
I mean, I still think I dressed pretty well. It just wasn't. I didn't have to be professional. I wasn't in a suit all the time, or didn't have on shoes or dress pants all the time. So I might substitute that for a pair of Jordans. I think I may be okay in that. But
dude, it's so funny you brought that up. So I don't know if I told you. Did I tell you that I recently became a sneakerhead? Did I tell you that?
Nah, that's new.
It's totally new for me. So I like, for lack of a better term, I had a weird sense of style, and my wife cleaned me up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. She showed me the ways of some things, and then as I've progressed, I've gotten into some things. So my new obsession is sneakers with like cool wear. Like sneakers with like a blazer, or it's sneakers, jeans, and a blazer. That's my thing, right? So for a couple months, almost to a year now, I didn't understand the Jordan phase. I didn't really get it. I'm like, all right, whatever, no problem. I'm in Finish Line in Cherry Hill Mall like 3 weeks ago. And I walk in, and I swear to God, dude, it's like one of these things where like the light shines bright on the shoes and the music comes on and it just brings you in, right? And they had these OG, for people that don't know this, I had no idea what the terminology was. They're called OG Retro Ones. And they were the high tops, and they were suede instead of the leather. Dude, I put these things on, right? I put them on, and I felt like $1 million. Like I just felt like that. And she's pulling these shoes out, and she's like, and I'm sure you know how this goes. Like, no one's touched these. I'm like, what are these? Like, I was like, what is this? A Rolls Royce? It's like it's sneakers, right? So I put them on. I bought the cleaner for them. I bought all this stuff for them. Ask me how many times I've worn them.
Once.
0. I'm afraid to wear these effing shoes, bro. I'm afraid to wear the shoes.
Man, that's insane. So I didn't know that. I complimented you when you stopped past the office. I did compliment you on your Adidas. I'm a very plain guy usually when it comes to sneakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not necessarily now. I have Jordans, but they're just kind of like the ones that like kind of like I don't know.
Occasion?
Yeah. Well, I can't say special occasion. When I dress down, you may see them. But like I'm not waiting in line. I'm not doing lotteries for them. If I have to get them, I get them. So that's why I say I wouldn't consider myself a sneakerhead, but you got yourself some ones, man. I know that much. Ones are like the most versatile sneaker you can kind of have when it comes to like like basketball and those type of sneakers. So that's like you can wear it with your blazer, you can wear it with a suit, you can wear it dressed down, sweatpants. So
I mean, they make me feel cool. I'm not gonna lie.
You should wear them. I feel like you should do it for yourself. Don't leave them in your closet, man. Wear them.
Well, anyway, we got way off topic, but I just went right there because you're even look cool tonight. So I'm like, I had to do something. I brought my my little sweater blazer looking thing on tonight. So I'm trying to come. Do your pants match your top? Do you have one of those things on?
Nah, my pants are actually like a charcoal gray.
All right. Dude, I got to tell you though, man, I think I'm going to start watching your page for that stuff, but we're going to get into that. So let's start from the beginning, man. So tell me, where do you hail from? What's your background? What's the family like life? Where'd you grow up? Give me all that good stuff.
Oh man, I feel like I have an extensive background, but I like platforms like these so I can be able to tell my story. I'm from Pennsauken. I graduated class of 08.
Oh, you're young, man. You're youngin'.
To some people, there's other people that will call me OG, Chad. Okay. Yeah, my growing up situation was a lot different than most people. I lost my mom to domestic violence. Lost my father in the same realms. I lost my brother, being as though that he went to go live with his father. Me and him have different fathers. And yeah, I was raised by my aunt.
Wow.
Well, I was raised by a collection of people, family wise, but I lived with my aunt. My godmom did a heck of a job as well. My grandmother, both of them did a heck of a job. My aunts, my uncles, my friends, parents, everybody kind of had a hand in making sure that I was at least on the right path. So,
how long? At what point did that happen? At what point did you?
I was 8 years old when that happened.
You were 8. Wow. Do you remember any of it? Is it vivid to you? Yeah.
So that was something that, unfortunately, I witnessed happen. So
yeah. Wow. That's crazy, dude. Wow. And then, so who was the most, when you get to that part of your life when and you're in the hands of all those different people, who's the most influential? Is it a collective? So like, did one person take over in terms of your child rearing, or?
Yeah. So, it's actually my great aunt. That's what it would be considered. It was my mother's aunt, but my aunt Terry, she had full custody of me at that point, and so that was a person I was able to watch maneuver around. Such a super hard worker, 2 or 3 jobs, couldn't beat her all the time to make sure that our homework was done, but we always had food on the table. So.
Well, are you guys still tight today?
Oh, of course.
Awesome.
So that was like, it wasn't a huge.
What up, Mark?
It definitely. What's going on, Mark? It was, of course, there was an adjustment, but her son, her younger son, which is of course my cousin. We grew up like brothers. He's only about a year and a half older than me, but that was already, like my closest cousin. We were already, thick as thieves, as they would say, growing up to that point. So, it wasn't like I was going in there with complete strangers or anything like that. So,
wow, man. So that's crazy. So at that point, where are you at mentally at that stage? You remember? Were you like, was it a lot of anger? A lot like where were you at emotionally at that point in your life?
That's a great question. It was definitely, I would say, just searching for answers. Of course, I was angry. Of course, I was, at the time, I didn't know I was sad, but I was going through some things emotionally on that end as well. But yeah, I felt like as an 8-year-old, who's going to protect me? How can I protect myself? While kids were, thinking about how can they have the best grades in school, my mind is on who the heck am I about to turn out to be? What do I do? I felt like I had to grow up a lot sooner, even though I would say neglected some of those responsibilities early because I just wanted to be a regular kid just like everyone else, but that just wasn't my situation.
And then was there anything you turned to spiritually or music or anything you got into to help you that back at that time that you can think of?
So my aunt is very into the church. So,
Mm,
we had to make sure we were there every Sunday. She's in the church, she's
mm,
ushering.
mm.
So, we
And
had
is
to
it
go.
what denomination is that?
So this is Baptist.
Dude, can I side note? Like all
Yeah.
joking, I've never been to a Baptist like service. Like, is it as cliche as it sounds? Is it everything that we see? Like, is it like the singing, the very high
Oh,
energy, very yeah.
listen, you definitely gonna get some songs.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna get some some praise on the Lord, but you also
Mhm.
gonna get a very long service.
Yeah.
Extremely long. Look, I have some family members that are Catholic,
Mm.
and man, I loved going to church with them. I would take that hour any day of the week. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's cool though. So did you find a lot of healing and growth in the church by doing that stuff? Do you connect with it yourself or?
Not growing up so much. I'm glad I had that as my foundation, because now
Mhm,
I'm always able to look back on that and tap into it.
mm,
At the time, I I'm 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. During
mm,
those phases, um, I'm just consumed with what I have going on, and I can't even imagine that everybody else is going through something that could be similar. So,
mm,
at the time, and like I said, just growing up, I was at a different point. I was looking about myself,
mm,
um, how I can kind of get out of this situation, and
mm,
just having to grow up a little bit sooner. So I wouldn't say religion was at the top of the list.
mhm.
Always believed in a higher being, always believed in God. But
Which is easy to lose in that. Like when you think about it, right? And you're in that situation, because it's a lot of times what people question. And I mean, that's a young age. That's a super
yeah,
young age, right? But like it'd be easy to lose that. It'd be easy to lose your faith in that, especially with all the stuff that was happening to you. You know what I mean?
right. Well, it goes back to what I was saying as far as just my upbringing.
Yeah.
Having my aunt, having my grandmother, that like
Mhm,
they're heavy into it. My aunts, they're into it. They're not only going to church, they're a part of it.
mhm,
So no matter how you want to spin it, or no matter how you feel, you
mhm,
gonna get something from the word, especially
mhm,
when you have to go and you probably don't want to. Sunday
mhm,
mornings, you gotta be there 8 a.m., and you probably won't get home till around 2 or 3.
mhm,
And we come from a huge football family, so we
mhm.
missed a lot of games going to church. So but yeah, that's like, it was always instilled. I don't think I ever lost faith, like, completely, I would say,
Mm,
but I
mm.
just had to find my way. So
Yeah. So take all right. So take us to the journey. So you're pretty young. That's pretty traumatic, right? You go with in a lot. You bounce around a little bit. Finally, find a place of stability for yourself, and then talk to us about adolescence in high school. What were you into? Were you an athlete? What kind of stuff were you into?
yeah, I play sports, and I actually I just had this conversation with a few people at the office where, be honest with you, if it wasn't for sports, I might have been a complete high school dropout, man.
Mm,
um
mm.
I don't say that to like say that that's a good thing at all, but that's kind of just where I was school wise.
Yeah, I get it.
I loved sports. I was always capable of,
Mm,
being the best student. I was always capable of, just doing whatever I wanted to be. But during those times, it was just so, okay, like, what's more important? How can I really make a life for myself, or try to? I don't think school is that for per se. You
mm,
know, um, just wasn't as motivated as I am today. Or yeah, it was definitely up and down period. I remember
yeah.
being my aunt definitely having a long talk with me, all of that good stuff, because once again, I was more than capable of being the person I needed to be in school and having it translate to actual life. But during that time, I was just, trying to figure it out on my own and being rebellious as a kid would be, um, and trying to get through it. So, sports definitely was a safe haven for me. Showed up to class, showed up to school, did the things I needed to do in order to do it. And then, yeah, just
What sports? What sports were you into?
So I played basketball in high school.
All right. What position?
I played center.
What? What you talking about? No, you didn't.
I'm your first 5'7.5" center of all time, man. I played point guard. I played point guard. So I got a varsity letter my sophomore year. I was a starter my junior and senior year.
That's awesome, dude. Now what league is that? What league is that? Is that all like what school do you play in? First of all, I grew up on the PA side, so you got to give me a little South Jersey education. So what league is that? What do you play against? Who do you play against?
So this was Group 4. So they I don't know what they do at the moment, but I know at the time it was based off of the population of each school. So Group 4 was usually the biggest. So Pennsauken is a really, highly populated town. I had over 500 people in my graduating class, around 2,000 people within the school. So we were in Group 4.
That's a big school.
And I believe it was the Colonial League at the time. I could be wrong, but I feel like.
What's that, like Shawnee, right? They're in there. Who else?
Shawnee was on the other side, but in our division was Cherokee, Lenape. So all of those schools, Washington Township. So that was all Group 4.
Washington Town, good old Washington Township.
Yeah, man.
The South Philly of South Jersey.
Yeah, that's a great point. Great point. Yes. Look, talk about sports. They were always, hard-nosed, tough.
Yeah.
That is a really tough school to play and to beat, especially when you're playing there.
So what was life like as a South Jersey teenager, man? You gotta paint. What's a big thing? I guess the Cherry Hill Mall, right? Everyone does that. No?
You gotta go to the mall.
Yeah. What else?
You gotta go to the movies afterwards. I mean, I feel like it's kind of the same everywhere. As far as what we did, yeah. I mean, you gotta
ever go to the pub growing up, dude?
The where?
The pub.
Yeah, but that's more so like I did that with my family.
Yeah, but I was for everyone out there watching this. I hope that you've been to the pub. The pub to me is like medieval times. You know what I mean? Dude, it is hilarious. I don't think they've changed the decor since the 80s, at least.
Nope.
But they have these cheese ball salad plates that you get in the salad bowl, right? And I'll never forget. When I moved to South Jersey, I was so excited. My wife is not from the area at all. I'm like, we gotta go to the pub. She's like, what's the pub? I was like, it's amazing. They have steaks and ribs and all this stuff. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I got in there and the food is not as good as I remembered. The decor was cheesy. The drinks were all right. But like I was so excited for the steak, and I was like, oh man, this was cool when I was a teenager.
It's a staple, man. So somewhere like that, I grew up around there, being originally Camden and living in Pennsauken. That's such like you see that all the time growing up. So there was only a few times that we actually made a visit to that I can recall. In my younger years, in my later years, now that I'm older, like I get why they were going there. So the one thing that we missed out was, you go there for food, but man, they got some really good drinks.
Oh yeah, that's what you go for. That's what you go for.
Yeah. But the people in there were, they even to this day, awesome service, man. I always have a great time at the pub whenever I do decide to go.
So are you a Donkeys fan? I've never been there, but I hear it's real good. Is it real good? Yeah.
To me, so I've met a few people that didn't like it, but man, it's very disgustingly put together cheesesteak, but it's greatness. It's just filthy wrapped up in a poppy seed bun. The fries are good. The once again, the service there is very great, and you're going to another legendary spot that everybody knows about, and they really do a good job and make, especially if it's your first time, to make you feel like you're at home. So that's
You
another
never,
spot.
you never made filthy sound so delicious, Garnett. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be honest, because it is. It is. I have people that will back me up on that. Definitely. Greasy. If you get in the bag, it's leaking through the bag. But from my experience, I feel like everybody should at least try it. That is definitely a good spot. And if you can actually go there and sit down, I think it will make the experience a little bit better for you.
Dude, that is on my list. I've been on a pretty big diet since the first of the year, and that is on my list. Though I'm done. Mark would love me to go now, but I got to wait until the last weigh-in of our competition.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if I win, though, I might have to treat myself to a Donkeys. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, listen, you let me go. Let me know so I can go with you. Let me know.
I'm in, bro. I'm 100%, and I can't wait. All right, so you get through high school. You're going through some interesting times in life. Now what? Where does life take you after high school?
Man, after high school, I probably had every job in the world.
Oh, let's go. I've had some fun ones too. Give me the rundown.
Shoot, my first real job was CVS.
Okay.
Around the corner from my house. That's my first real job. Other than that, man, temp services will send you around anywhere and everywhere.
So CVS didn't really fulfill your dreams?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But
do you have anything good you could take from CVS? Do you remember any funny stories?
Not really. I don't even think I was there long enough to have funny stories, man. It was literally like a summer, but that was my first real job where it's like, okay, what do I do? How do I? I don't really know how this works. But yeah, I bounced around a lot, just job wise on that. I was always super creative, so I always wanted to do that. I was always super competitive, so I always wanted to do things of that, and I just felt like, at least during those times, like a job may have stripped me of that. I wanted to be with my friends. I wanted to, experience other things. Once again, a lot of my friends didn't have to do what I had to do, So during those times, I just couldn't really wrap my head around, well, why do I have to work so many hours and he doesn't have to work at all, But yeah.
When you say that, were they more privileged, your friends?
Just families were a lot more established in the sense where, they probably 2-parent household. They were able to, go shopping whenever they wanted to, have some, chore money, things like that, things that I didn't necessarily grow up on. But.
So you had to take all these odds and end jobs, and then all right, but you're not giving me anything good. So I was a ticket ripper at the movie theater. I was a personal trainer. I was a wedding DJ. What else did I do? Oh man, come on. I don't know. I've done some other crazy crap. I can't even think of. None of that ring. You do any of that cool stuff?
Dunkin' Donuts. A lot of warehouse jobs. Until you get to the point where I started to dig into what I felt like, okay, I like this a little bit. I served at Red Lobster, which was pretty good. I was able to.
Wait, so let's talk about that. That's interesting. All right, so I actually like Red Lobster. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad. It really isn't. So on a good night, what can you pop out? What's up, Hassan? How you doing, man? What on a good night? How much can you pop out of Red Lobster? What was
depending on what time you got in there, but man, you could definitely make $200, $300 for sure.
That's solid, dude. That's a solid gig.
Yeah.
And then, did you get to eat for free?
Not necessarily free. I believe it's half off while you're working, and then when you're not working, you get a discount. But I mean, you can't beat getting a lobster or some shrimp for $12. What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? So,
Dude, but it's you have to have some good stuff from Red Lobster though. Come on, yeah, you don't remember anything good?
I don't remember too much, man.
And see,
Yeah.
the thing is, are you an eater? I'm an eater.
I mean, yeah, I'm here.
What up, Javier?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like.
You see, you're not an eater. See, that's the problem, dude. Let me tell you what I would do. Let me give you an idea. All right, what Chad would do if you had a hot steaming twin lobster tail with hot butter on a plate, right, with a piece of steak and like a baked potato. I would take it out of the kitchen and it would not make it to the table, bro. It would not make it to the table.
And look, you wouldn't have made it back into that restaurant either. You but listen, it's what I know, right? And I'm sure you can't agree with me on this. You don't play with people about two things: money and food. Those things, forget about it. And when you're doing both, yeah, good luck.
But I will tell you this. So I did a summer stint at Wawa, and it's no Red Lobster, bro. It's no Red Lobster. I mean, this is like hot dogs and like, deli meat, like nothing sexy at all. But like, every time before the kiosks, when you screwed up the sandwiches, they used to throw them out. So like during the lunch rush, these guys would come in and I'd be, you want lettuce? You don't want lettuce, tomato, you want pickles. So every bad sandwich, they were supposed to throw it out. Chad wasn't throwing that out, Garnett.
Well, see, look, that's actually smart. Now, well, I might have did a few resales on the side for like half off, man. That is, I might have messed up a few sandwiches on purpose to make sure that I had
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you didn't want onions? It was full of them. Bring it back.
Yeah, I wasn't the best with some of that stuff. It's kind of funny, but all right. So Red Lobster, what else? What else is noteworthy?
Yeah, so Red Lobster, I think that was the first job I was able to tap into some of my strengths that I may have not even known was there yet.
Like what? Like what?
To me, I would say, being a people person, wanting to deal with people.
And you know what? That's like, no, wait, let's talk about that for a second. That's a big deal, right? Because probably up until that time, when you're still trying to figure yourself out, are you afraid? Are you afraid to let yourself out a little bit? Or do you not trust people enough because of all the shit that happened to you? Like what do you think? What are you feeling at that point?
Once again, that's a really great question. So even growing up when my parents were there, right, and everything was normal, I was still a reserved kid. In class, I was your model student. I say absolutely nothing. I do all of my work. The people that know me know me. The people that don't think I'm the quietest person in the world. It was the exact same way when I moved to Pennsauken. I don't think I actually escaped that shell till about 10th grade or 11th grade. Yeah, but
so did that stuff make it worse? Like that make you more reserved?
If it did, I didn't feel it, so I won't give credit to that. I'll just say that's just kind of who I was
right
at that point. Yeah, I mean, now if you were my teammate in sports or basketball, if you were already a friend, then you're going to get all of my personality. But if you weren't in that circle or didn't have that connection, then you would think I'm just a kid in class that didn't say much or in the hallways didn't say much. But all of the people that knew me knew that. So I just had to show everybody else kind of where it came from and what it was.
So that's cool. So you're at Red Lobster. And you start a new job where you have to be a little more personal, a little more outgoing, because obviously the energy helps your pocket a little bit, right? And then you start to connect and realize, oh shit, if I start talking a little more and come out of my shell a little bit, it's cool. People accept me. I can connect a little bit. I dig that. All right, that's cool. That's cool. That's
Yep.
cool. All right, then what else? Come on, you got some other cool stuff. I know you do. What else you got?
Um, what else, man? I started up a YouTube channel, man. I started attempting to do some skits with
When
some
was
really
that? When was
minds.
that?
That was like, I don't know if it was during the Red Lobster time or immediately after. Um, but yeah, like I
So you're an early adopter of YouTube then. How
very,
long?
very, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We talking 2010, 2011, maybe.
Wow, that's real early.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So tell me how that went down.
Man, just had some ideas. That's it. Had some ideas. A friend that picked up a camera that was doing well with, him shooting music videos and things like that. And another friend that just like believed in me and like he saw something. And one day he was just like, "Hey, remember that skit you was talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You ready to record it?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "All right, I'm on my way over." And it's like, damn, I guess we made it happen, man. We definitely made it happen. As
So
far as
how did
just
that go? What was that skit? What was that? Don't leave me in the dark, man. Give me the juice.
so look, it's actually a character that the people from back, like if you know me that long, they want this character back for whatever reason. But it's like a geeky superhero character. His name His name was Shawshank Shabazz. It's who you want to be. It just looks differently, but he wins everything. So that was kind of like the introduction of him, and then I had like a few more other characters, and it kind of was just like an intro of him. It's actually still on my YouTube page till this day.
Oh, dude, I gotta check. Jason, Jason, by the way, just so you know, it's my producer Jason is as
Yeah,
skilled as they get. We are gonna pull up Shawshank Shabazz. I promise you that
listen,
before the show is over.
it's very, very interesting. I think I was ahead of my time on some of it, but
So give me the rundown of it. So, like, first of all, can you role play at all with me right now, or what?
So he had like a distinctive voice. I'll get to that in a second. Then like I had like a character. He was the serial killer, right? But it was kind of like um who's the who's the guy that had the scissors as the hands?
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands, right? So it
Yeah.
was kind of like that, but with spoons because he was a serial killer. So it was it was
Oh,
like,
it was like legit cereal, like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking like Captain Crunch kind of cereal.
exactly, exactly. So things just like popping into my head, just being goofy, being funny, and yeah, we decided to record it. Um, I believe so. We ended up doing like a spin-off of that and like introducing the actual character of Shawshank Shabazz, which is still a heck of a name if you ask me. That's just a great name, like. But yeah, we had a skit that ended up getting like a good amount of views within like the first couple months, maybe like a couple thousand views
Wow.
during that time. It was called "Don't Step on My J's." So he had Jordans at the time, and
Look at that. Look at
yeah,
that.
look, that's beautiful circle. So the character had Jordans, and somebody decided to step on his Jordans, and it didn't go well for that person.
Oh, dude, we got to see if we can pull. I know Jason's working on it. We got to pull some of that up. That's
Listen,
cool.
classic. I'm
All
telling
right,
you.
so when you do that, now you're starting. It seems like you're starting to really identify yourself a little bit. You come out of your shell. You're getting into your creative side a little bit. Do you find something behind the camera? You connect in there? Is there something you're discovering about yourself?
Um, I'm just embracing, not necessarily discovering, just
Here it
embracing.
is. Here you go. I told you he'd find it. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, Jay.
Hey, Jason, you're supposed to be on my side, man.
Don't step on my Jay. Here we go.
I don't want to stick my fingers in your butthole.
What?
Toast it, I'm gonna do that.
Yo, I haven't seen this in years.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what time of day it is, baby. Time to get them J's, baby. Yeah. Oh shit! What the? Oh shit!
Great editing, by the way. Watch that.
Yo, you got the new Jordans? Yeah, young Swiss naive. You know these new Jordans, baby. Yeah. They got 9.5 left? Nah, they ain't got no more left, baby. Young Swiss naive got them copped up, baby. You feel me, son? Damn. Hey, yo. See that nigga over there?
Yeah,
That look a lot alike, dog.
showing up.
Crazy. Flyest boy out, told you. And I pimp too. All right,
This is
thanks a lot,
amazing.
man. I appreciate
The Cherry Hill Mall.
That's
it.
awesome.
Basketball, basketball.
That's awesome. Oh my god! All right, are we reaching the pinnacle of this, or was that it?
Hello?
That was nah. You may have to fast forward. Yeah, you may have to.
Nah,
Let's forward a little bit, Jay. Let's see what we can get to.
baby, stay with them new Jordans. I got them things, baby. I'll be there in full effect, baby. Glass,
Oh, I
Shawshank
forgot that
Spaz. I know they want me. Yeah. See you later. All right. What's up, bro? What's going on?
Oh, this is like a full length feature here. Oh my god, dude!
What's up, baby? I got Dutch. You got weed?
All right, Jay, cut it, bro. We're gonna talk about this. Oh wait, there we go.
Shawshank Spaz. I'm here, baby. Ain't no party till Shawshank step in, baby. Yeah,
Oh my
one more,
god!
baby.
What's in the cup? What's in the cup? That boy clean. Damn! Look at the You got the 96s on! It's naive! 13 years, you're still fucking white. They gotta be fake. They gotta be fake.
He ain't no pimp talking, nigga. Damn, daddy, I clean your sneaks for $1.
I got $2 for you. You got one. I got $2 for you. He the flyest nigga out. Yeah, you got the 96s on, baby.
All right, Jay. Let's get back to the talk here. I got a good flavor of it though, dude. That was funny, man. That's fun. That's
Yo,
long.
I haven't seen that in years. Like the part that I didn't even know. Like that is insane. But yeah, that was the part that you didn't see is we ended up getting into a fight. I ended up getting into a fight with myself, and as you can see, the Shawshank Shabazz character is beloved. Even though he looks ridiculous, he acts ridiculous, but he's actually the beloved one. So
that's awesome, though. That's cool, man. So you did that. Did you end up making any money on that?
Money? No. That just ended up, I did a few things after that. during that, like I didn't have control of a camera or anything like that. Like, this was connected with friends. It did get me into comedy.
That's cool. Oh, all right.
Yeah. So my barber at the time, I used to go to this barber shop around the corner from my house, and they just always used to be like, "Yo, you should try comedy. I think it'd be funny at stand up." Whatever. I ended up doing, this like little collection of skits, and after that, I gained the confidence to actually do it. And this was over in Philly, on South Street at the legendary Laugh House.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, but
I knew the Laugh House. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I went there. And my best friend had to drop me off. And he was such a great friend because he didn't bug me. I'm like, you can't come in and see this. Like, you just can't. You can't. And he sat outside in the car. At least I think. We really couldn't see, but I believe he sat outside in the car. He just let me do my thing. It wasn't too bad. And then the second time I had the courage enough to invite a few people out because people saw, oh, well, I saw you posted you was at the Laugh House. And I bombed. Really bad. And that was the last time I did that for like years, honestly. And then I ended up getting back into stand-up comedy. I did that full time for about 3 or 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool. And where'd you go? Did you go all different, like New York? You played those spots?
So I actually took a class, stand-up comedy class. It was, and they still have it running. It's Philadelphia Comedy College, right? Wow. It's ran by Ray Gordon, who is a very legendary Philadelphia comedian. He has something on Netflix right now. He's been, traveling his butt off like for years. Somebody that was around during Kevin Hart's days and got a chance to mentor him as well when he was in Philly.
Wow.
So him and Keith from Up the Block, they started a comedy class, right? And I attended that. And afterwards we had an alumni show, right? Everybody that's been a part of it, here goes tickets, you sell them, you keep some, you bring me back some. And this was in Atlantic City with AC Jokes, who are still my guys to this day, very good people. Shout out to Matt Bridgestone. And I remember selling close to 60 tickets.
Wow.
And I only kept $5 for each ticket. The tickets were $25. And every time I had to cash out money over, it made me sick to my stomach. So I'm like, damn, like, of course, I never really did a full show or anything like that. Of course, we have the graduation show. You do some open mics, if you decide to, which I did. But that was like an official show that we were able to put on ourselves as the community.
Very cool.
And that was the day I realized I can do this myself. So I'm very grateful for it, but I was able to realize very early on that not only could I perform, right, and have a headlining spot or get a chance to work out new jokes, get a chance to refine my own jokes, but I can also make some money off of it.
That's cool, man.
I ended up having it might have been about 80 people there in total, right? It was filled out about 80 people. I would say 65 came from me. And that changed everything.
That's awesome, man.
So, after that experience, I was able to start producing my own shows, throwing my own shows, going back and forth up to New York during the week, the weekends. What's that? I forget the town, but like mid PA, going there with other comedians that I connected with. So as far as traveling and getting on stages, it was from New York to New Jersey to PA. And
that's awesome, man. Good for you. Good for you. To be able to do that, have the courage to go after it like that, that's awesome, dude. Good for you. That's funny. I mean, I should throw you on the spot and see what you can
It's
do.
not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Hey, listen, everybody tries it. Everybody. Tell me a joke. I don't have one. I don't. Nope.
I'll tell you the joke. I'm staring right at him.
I'm gonna steal that. But, yeah.
So you did all this, and listen, man, I gotta tell you, it takes a lot of courage to do what you did. It's cool that you found yourself that way. It's interesting, and what I like about, I think the one thing that really sticks out about you is the creative aspect. Like it seems like you just tap further and further into that. And that's going to bring us to really the culmination of our talk here, because we're both in real estate. So tell me how you got into the game, bro.
Man, so once again, like this was towards the latter years of doing all these odd jobs and all this stuff. So I was working full time. I was working full time at a fire protection company doing logistics. My best friend was doing sales there. He got me a job, and I was still doing stand-up comedy literally every night. We're out. I'm getting back in 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, stumbling into work at 7:30, sometimes being late. Just being from coming from New York the night before, so I still was really heavy into doing stand-up and making stand-up work. And then the pandemic happened. Honestly, we had so I guess there was like waves of shutdowns, if I can remember correctly. And then when it finally got to us, it was like the very next day. But the day that we just started finding out about everything to like what was about to happen, it was a show at Warm Daddies. It's no longer there no more.
I know Warm Daddies well. I had a buddy who used to play open mic guitar at Warm Daddies.
Yep. They always had the music there, which was great. But they always did a comedy night as well that was run by Ray Gordon. And it was great. It was actually, I believe, the last show. Are you familiar with the Chappelle Show?
Yeah, of course.
So you remember Ashley Larry down in Rawlings?
No, I'm not that familiar. No.
Okay, so for the people that's listening, Donnell Rawlings, who is a comedian, his character that he became famous on for Chappelle Show itself was Ashley Larry, and he headlined that night.
Oh wow!
So that was literally the last show that I performed before the pandemic. The next day, everything was shut down.
Yeah.
During that time, I'm laid off. What I'm gonna do, I'm doing podcasts and things like that with friends. And then eventually, I don't know, I just had like super epiphany, and I'm like, oh no. So this is what happened. I'm sorry, because I'm missing a very key part. So I'm doing a podcast with Nina Say What, who's like my radio mentor. She was on Power 99 for years. She was on 100.3 for years in Philadelphia. Sirius Radio, all of that stuff. But she has a podcast I was helping her produce, and then she also allowed me to be her co-host as well. One of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, super. She's amazing. Really good friend of mine. We ended up interviewing an investor, a young investor. She started out wholesaling, and she was 23 years old. Her and her husband had 28 properties.
Wow.
And I've always kind of been interested in it, but hearing her story, hearing what she did, and like I was able to like whatever questions I thought I had, I balled them up, and now I'm in the moment. And I just started asking her questions that I felt like what she's saying. And great interview. Everything that she was saying.
What's up, G? Sorry, I throw those random bombs out during the interviews.
So like after the interview, I fact checking everything. Okay, they're able to do this, doing that, wholesaling. I'm like, okay, well, what the hell is wholesaling? And I looked it up. I'm like, I don't think wholesaling is really for me per se. I'm like, how can I get the best of both worlds, right? How can I make some money? How can I learn about the business? How can I become an investor? And like do it at a way where I want to do it. And I looked up how to be a real estate agent. What does it take? And I mean, immediately going back to what we talked about before, just, faith and having that spiritual guidance, everything came to me within a millisecond. I knew what I was going to do, and I knew that I wanted to do this.
That's cool.
I signed up for my class immediately after that.
And so where'd you go to real estate school?
Of course, the real estate school. I mean, when you don't know anything and it's like you Google real estate.
Yeah, but school. Dude, come on, those schools don't teach you bleep. I mean, come on, bro. Like I'm not gonna like. So most people know I'm a lender. I'm not an agent. I never went for my license, but I did take the class at Temple. I sat in it just because I wanted to learn, and I sat here. I was like, what the hell is this? Like how to read these dumbass maps and deed maps and all this other crap. It's just like you don't learn anything, man. Thank you, JD. Yeah, it's just like you want to listen. I'm sorry. Like you actually have a holistic, altruistic, feel good calling to this. Not everyone does. Most people are like, I want to make that money, right? Like that's what they think. So you roll up into this real estate school and it's some old fart that's been doing it for 30 years, wearing the name tag. My name is John Smith. Me and my wife are a realtor and da-da-da-da-da and all this other junk. They couldn't make it less sexy if they tried, dude. Come on. Would you have a good instructor?
I honestly don't know, man. I was panicking so much during it. No, it was like, so once again, it was so everything was new for everybody. So I'm not sure if we were their first class or not to, just do Zoom, but I'm more of a hands-on person and that wasn't a thing. And
now wait, did you go to George Kelly School? Where'd you go? What's one's the real estate school?
No, it's called the Real Estate School.
But what is that? Is that a South Jersey thing? What is that?
Yeah, so it's based out of Cherry Hill. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Is that George Kelly's school that he opened up out at KW, or that's something different?
No, so that's something different. Yes.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So George is my homie, by the way. I like George. Good dude.
I love George. Love George.
Yeah. Oh, it's an online school. Oh, it's an online school.
So I mean, I don't know what it is at this very moment. I know previously, before the pandemic, you had to show up to class. It was a physical,
So did you go to class?
It was the pandemic, so everything was online.
Oh, so you did everything online. Gotcha.
Yeah. Right. It was during those times. So like I said, I don't know if somebody was good at it or super bad. It was new for them.
So you're saying that you're actually sitting there behind the camera, nervous, like you're shaking in your boots. You're this is not
a little bit.
Why? Why?
Because this is something that out of the times that we're talking about, this is the one thing that I wanted more than anything.
I got you. So you put the pressure on yourself.
Like I wanted this. I knew that, I was going to be able to do great things within this industry. So this is something that I know for sure that I wanted. Like I said, I had an epiphany immediately of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And I knew it would be long-term, not like a lot of other things that I did.
So you ate that up like a bowl of cereal. You were slurping it up. Everything the guy was saying.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. But I still. So I didn't even know how to study. I've been so far removed from school that like I didn't even know how I would study to like not only pass the class but pass the exam. So I remember like probably the second day of class, I stayed up all night making flashcards. Literally, I stayed up till about 6 a.m. making flashcards that I couldn't even study because I stayed up all morning. So I like, literally, how can you study the flashcards? I didn't go to sleep until around 5 a.m. I got class at 9. There's no so like I couldn't even, I didn't even know how to teach myself how to learn again. And then I started figuring it out. I passed the class, and in order to pass the exam, like once I'm like, okay, this is how I learn. This is this is what works for me. So it took me to pass the class to be like, okay, I know exactly how I'm going to pass this exam.
All right, so you get that done. Now what?
Now what? I go and I interview about 4 different brokerages. They were all amazing, by the way. Actually, the worst one was KW. Now, one of my friends was already at KW. So, you know, it kind of had like a little, a slight lead before I went to these other brokerages, right? But I went to other brokerages. Everything went great.
Yeah.
And then they always asked me, well, who did you interview with before? And I would tell them, and it would, the rest of the interview would go about talking about why I shouldn't join that agency. And that's what turned me off.
Interesting.
That's what completely turned me off. I always looked at it where if I'm on a date, like I'm not trying to hear about your ex-boyfriend. I don't care.
It's true.
I'm here right now. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, you know, you almost had the panties at my ankles and you said that. Everything was great. And then, and it's like, okay. And like I said, the most underwhelming one was actually KW, but it was the most real one. They never asked what I did before. They never asked. It was what I can provide for you today. And that made the decision a whole lot easier because, like I said, it was like, well, they don't even see anybody as competition. Like they just don't care. This is what we provide. It's what we're going to do. It's either you join or you don't, and if you don't, that's fine too. Awesome.
All right, so you join. So to put everything into perspective, you know, you're a guy that's kind of been back and forth and all over the place in life, and then you find this so-called new home that take you under their wing and teach you everything that there is to know about this entirely new gig for you, right? What are you like from day one? Like, what are you focusing in on? What's your goal? Is it to learn how to buy and sell, transactions, how to build business? Like, where's your head at when you start out?
My head is to how do I get more eyes on what I'm doing?
How do you get, what was it? I missed that. How do you get more eyes?
How to get more eyes on what I'm doing.
That's not what you do. Okay. Yeah.
What I do right now and how I market myself, that wasn't an accident. That's not something that I stumbled upon. That was something that during that epiphany, that was part of it. So I came in to this industry with a game plan on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. At the time, who knows if it would work or not, right? But I believe it would because that's how strongly I felt about it. But that was it. That's what I was focused on. What did I write down, and how do we plan on executing that? And everything else, I'll be able to figure out with, you know, meeting people, having conversations, or just going through the motions and picking things up. But I knew exactly how I wanted to hit the ground running in real estate.
So that YouTube stuff really played a part when you think about it, right? Like it really did, because you're using that as the lure to draw attention to what you're doing. And then you go back to the days of Red Lobster where you're learning customer service and how to you know, get something from the kitchen all the way to the table, for lack of a better term. And that's cool, man. And then as you're going and growing now, and is this the longest thing you've stuck with? Was comedy longer?
This may have been outside of sports. Like, it's. I mean, it's so I see a longer goal for this. Like, I don't see why I would stop being an agent forever. You know, whether I'm a team lead or I own my own brokerage, doesn't matter. Like, I know this space is something that I can thrive in. I know this space is something that can give opportunity to others to thrive in. I know this space can create opportunities for so many people. So I like this space a lot. It literally knocks off.
That's a good answer, man. Like you're doing it for all the right stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're really embracing it and going much deeper than the average person. You really are. When you think about that. That's cool, man. That's cool. Like you found it to be a calling way more than just the superficial crap that most people think about. Which is cool. Which is really cool.
I think we should, in order to get like bliss and to be at peace and be happy with what we do, because everybody isn't happy with the job that they have. They may make a lot of money and they may be good at it, right? But they're not happy. That's not what they do. So the way I look at it is, if you can knock off all of these three things, if you can love what you do, good at what you do, you get paid to do what you love to do. That is the trifecta to me.
That's super wise, man. It's true. It's that to me. That's because you can keep chasing the almighty dollar, but it's never going to be enough.
You're literally going to be chasing retirement.
Yeah, man.
You can't wait until you're 25 years old, which is great and fine. But imagine if you were at a place where you just love. Of course, you don't love it every day, right? But in a whole totality of it, if you could just love it and just love being there and love going through the ups and downs of it, man, you're always going to have a smile on your face, and you're always going to be able to provide a smile, for other people.
And that's really what the name of this game is. Because let me tell you, man, what's up, Rob? Rob, give you a shout out.
Oh yeah, look, I'm gonna stop you. Rob was and is so instrumental to my current career. When I got to KW, man, I asked for, so I had a goal. My license became active in July of 2021. I went to Jamaica for my cousins, who I grew up with like a brother, right? He got married in August. So I'm a month in, right? Go to Jamaica, have a blast. Yeah, I mean, a great time.
You did? Nah.
Right? We had a blast, right? Wedding was beautiful, all of it. I'm sitting in an airport, right, in Jamaica.
No, you're going to Rob Bunis in Jamaica.
No. I'm gonna tell you. So I'm sitting in the airport, and I'm like, man, I've at least been in this industry for a few months. I know I had a plan to execute. I didn't even start yet. You got to get on your job. I'm talking to myself. I started writing down all of the skits and all of the things.
Now, were you sober when you were talking to yourself? Or was...
Yeah. Always. So I'm in the airport. I'm jotting these things down in the notebook, and my goal was I wanted to have an open house every week until the end of the year. Right, that was my goal. So we're talking the first week of August until December 31st. I'm going to have at least one open house. And I was able to accomplish that with people like Rob. So he didn't know that was the goal, but he provided me so much opportunity. He gave me a bunch of open houses that I could host. And I'm talking about beautiful homes, man. I got a chance to build up a really good database because he believed in what I was doing and how I was doing it. And so that's why I give him his flowers at all times, because I actually hit my goal. Now, I didn't have one every week, right? Because it wasn't my listings. But on average, I think it might have been like 26 weeks or 25 weeks from the moment I started to the end of the year, I did 35 open houses. So I'm only at 26.
Yeah, but Garnett, there's something to be said about that, right? It's super rudimentary and basic, but it's just so basic that people overlook it. Stop sitting there and talking about what you're gonna do, and just start walking in the shoes. Like instead of how am I gonna get this lead? How am I gonna do this? Just start doing the stuff that works, and it just takes time, man. Just takes time. Thank you for coming on, Rob. We love you checking this out, bro. Thanks for being a fan.
I appreciate you.
But you know what, Garnett? It's a really good lesson because no matter what, you cannot. And I tell people this: this is not the type of game that you can come in and press a button and just get to floor 6, floor 7. You've got to do the basic stuff. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be boring. But you know what's funny? You never looked at it that way. You appreciate every aspect and step that it's taken you to get here, right? And it sounds like you've had some pretty good people to look up to in that. And that's something else we could talk about before we leave, some other people that have been influential in the real estate space for you. But, more so, it's just people want to complain. When you look at where you've come from in life and you feel so fortunate to be in this place, and so many other people are taking it for granted. I mean, you can teach people a lot of good, man. People that have grown up in a lot better situations. You know how to act, you know how to think, and it's a totally different way of thinking, man. And that's, to me, it's telling, because it's not just about the people who deserve to be here or the people that should be here. It's the fact that you're a true professional in the space, and that's very different. Not everyone is a true blue real estate professional. There are people that do it. There are people that dab in it. And there are people that love it and live it and really just embrace what it is. And you're one of those people, man.
Look, thank you for every word that you just said, because I actually never looked at it like that. But I think you are correct. Like, I've never looked at myself as like I am a super professional within this.
That's why you're on the Superstars podcast, man.
Absolutely right.
But let's be totally honest. It's a profession, right? Yeah. It's a profession. And I take this seriously too, because everyone looks like, there's real estate professionals, there's realtors, and everyone has a differentiation. And at the end of the day, man, it's like, not everyone's the same. Not everyone's the same. Everyone looks at it very differently. Some people will do their job and they'll check in, they'll check out, they'll clock in, they'll clock out. And I've seen it happen even on the listing side. I bet you've seen this. People will become listing agents and they're just not even human anymore. They don't pick up the phone. They don't embrace the deal. They don't want to engage with anybody. And I get it. You're busy, you're scaling. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, we're all here hustling, right? And that brings us to the next part of this, which is collaboration. I met you at an amazing event last week, right? That you were part of a panel. And, it's one of I've been a part of these, but that's one of the bigger scale ones that I've been a part of, to be honest with you. And what I loved about it is no one cared who they were with, right? It didn't matter. It was people in the same industry, in the same profession, just wanting to genuinely learn, how are you doing things on social media in the modern era to bring business in, right? And that's something that you're so good at because of your history, because of your creativity. And that's, to me, that's the ultimate thing, man. Networking with other people in this business and being open to helping one another. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, and I mean, look, last week, that event that yourself, Gianna, and Opus put on was great. One of the few, no problem. Well deserved. It's one of the few events that was an open event. Like, everybody was from different brokerages, like everybody. And I felt like everybody got a chance to learn so much and really network, to what you were saying. people were from PA, people were from South Jersey, Central Jersey, even though that really don't exist to people that's really from Jersey. It's only South. But I'm just saying, like the range of it was really great. So, I mean, that was a heck of an event that you guys put on.
Thank you, man. And yeah, and that, so it's called Real Estate Influencers for people that weren't there. We have a lot more coming with that. We have some media coming out so that everyone can see the recap, planning a lot of future stuff. And but that's just the tip of it for me, man. Like I listened to you talk last week as well as everyone out there, and you just learn. Like if you just shut up and listen, if you just shut your mouth and you listen to people that are doing things unique and different, you can learn so much, like so much. And in real estate, I think that's the biggest thing that I could tell everyone. Either if you don't know what you're doing, you got to learn from people that do. You really do, because, that's the most important thing. You don't have to learn it in the real estate school. But man, if you see someone that's doing something right, just walk up and say, hey, can I get a cup of coffee? And can you teach me something?
Yep. And this is another thing, like the people that I've been connected to within this industry, they've never not picked up a phone call.
Yeah, man.
They've never not denied a sit down. Once again, going back to Rob Bunis, who's on here.
Yeah,
he's always been open. I'm pretty sure he told me some things he maybe even shouldn't have, but in a good way. But he's full of information, and a lot of people within this industry that I've connected with. I mean, it's a list of them that when I have a question, they have an answer to, and they have a solution, and they have a reason why.
Yeah.
And I try to be the exact same way. I'm only 2.5 years in, right? But we age in dog years in this industry, so I feel like,
that's true.
I feel like I'm a super vet, but I'm actually not. But
until you go up against one of these 30-year-old vets, that'll tell you, do you know how long I've been doing this? Oh God, here we go. Here we go. No, I don't, but you're certainly going to tell me, aren't you?
7 years in this business, buddy. But yeah, I try to provide that same platform for all of the newer agents. Yeah. Anybody that asks me a question, I can't hold back, even if it's some of my sauce.
Yeah, man.
If I feel like it can help you,
here
you go.
Yeah.
Now, what you do with it is completely up to you, but
man,
you can't never say that, I held information back from you. So, that's something that in this industry, the people that I've been able to connect with have always been doing for me. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I feel future. Now I'm struggling my words again. I feel super fortunate that our paths have crossed. I just love seeing people like you, who really have found a calling to this profession. You're a true blue professional, which I love. And I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with you, man. It's gonna be good. Are you still at HQ?
What happened? Are
you still at HQ?
You talking about am I at the office? Yes. Yeah.
Dude, look at I hope everyone out there is watching. This dude is at the office right now. He is at the office. That is the ultimate grinder right there, man. Look at you.
The cleaners came. They was in the background early in the podcast. They were here cleaning the office, and they're super great as well. But yeah, I'm here.
Listen, just do me a favor. Don't stay up all night making note cards, all right?
Look, never again. I promise. Never, bro. It was. I was looking like, bro, I'm not even going to study it. It was the worst mistake I ever made, but I needed to do that in order to get through it. And yeah, I just use Quizlet. Quizlet.
Oh, there you go.
Quizlet is amazing. Anybody need to study, go to Quizlet.
Listen, man, anyone that's ever been in your presence knows that it's been a pleasure. Tell everyone out there how they can get a hold of you if they're looking to do some real estate in South Jersey.
Man, give me a call. I'm very personal. Text me, give me a call, 856-495-6019. My social media is my name, Garnett Briscoe. On Instagram, it may pop up as Sherlock Homeboy. That's Sherlock Homeboy, BOI, because somebody was smart enough to steal the Y. On Facebook, it is Garnett Briscoe. Same thing, whether it's YouTube or if you look it up on TikTok, whatever it is, LinkedIn. Just type in my name. It's very unique, so I should pop up as long as I have an account.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank everyone who's made it to the hour and 15. It's so funny. Every time people come on, it's like, we're going to talk for how long? And then it always passes, man. It always passes.
Listen, this was a breeze, bro. Honestly, we can do this for another hour and a half. And it was great. Like we didn't even touch the tip of the iceberg because short. Like, yeah. But I'm down for a part 2 whenever you're ready.
Oh, we will definitely do a part 2, 100%. But I'm glad I got to know your story, man. It's part of what I like to do. To me, we get to see the polished penny, the true blue professional, and there's always a reason why you got there. And your story is as impressive as you are, my man.
And thank you so much for providing the platform, man. Like I told you earlier, this is what I live for. I know it's bigger than everything that I'm doing. I hope that the things that I've been through can help somebody, whether you've been through that exact same thing or not. We're all human, and we all got to get through our circumstances, whatever they may be. And if I can tell my story and if that can help you out, that's what I'm here for. So
I dig it, man. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. We are going to be putting this up on the website, superstarspodcast.com. And we are going to be doing a bunch of reels. Jason, you better get on the reels for this. This dude dropped a lot of nuggets tonight. So we got a lot of good media out of this. So everyone out there in Facebook world, you have a lovely night. And I'm going to say one key phrase to end our show. Don't step on my J's. Everyone have a good night. See ya.
Have a good one.